grab, pull, tuck, and this is here for the rest of the pass. It doesn't move, okay? Smash. All right, now I'm gonna stand up on the sleeve side. Now your options on this side, like I said, you can just drive your weight into the other leg and just stand. It can be a little awkward for some people. It's getting more awkward for me as I get a little bit older. So I'm gonna shift, my foot comes out, my knee points in, and then as I push down to keep my posture, I just open up my hip and stand. That feels great. If you feel like you can reach it, just take a little step back and then immediately leave the belt, never the sleeve. Push the knee. As you push, you gotta get this leg out of the way. So we push and we step back, boom. What if that push isn't working and the guard's not opening up? Happens all the time, okay? Sometimes the guy's just too strong. Grab, pull, tuck, smash, stand, stand, okay? So this is pretty good. Everything else looks pretty good. I go to push down, even I step back, it's not opening, it's just too strong. At this point in time, if I feel like it's about to give, it is totally okay for me to leave the sleeve and double up on it to open it up. So when we stand up and we break the guard open, we're gonna be between the person's legs, okay? So let's get there. We're gonna be here, okay? So because we're flared open at the knees like this, you can't close this guard again, and then I actually have the option to scoop up one or both legs, okay? So it's gonna kind of be my pick, all right? You might be a little closer to the person, or you might be a little bit farther away. But what you wanna try to do is you wanna try to find the room to scoop one leg and push the other leg down. Which side you do that on, your comfort. If you feel more comfortable coming here and pushing down on this side, it's fine. If you feel more comfortable scooping here and pushing down on this side, that's fine too, all right? You're gonna do that on whatever side's comfortable for you. So I'm gonna drop the sleeve, I'm gonna come under, I'm gonna scoop this leg up, I'm gonna take a knee on that side, and then I'm gonna flare this open, and I'm gonna make an elbow-knee connection where I just wrap my hand around his leg and I close my elbow. And I'm pulling this one in tight to my biceps, okay? Now, this is not a position I would ever hang out in. However, you should be able to control your partner here to a certain degree, just a little bit. If you're loose with your bicep squeeze here, he'll just take that shin of that leg right out. So I have to exactly. So I have to suck this in really tight. I have to make a strong elbow-knee connection here and wrap that leg. And then I've got my shin forward and toes pointing out. So give me a little struggle, just a tiny bit. Yeah, see, I can kind of hold him here for a second, but the reality is he was nice. He'll move out of the position if he really wants to, okay? But practice trying to lock this down a little bit. Questions so far? Okay, so once we're here, we're gonna go into our pressure pass sequence. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll this knee forward to the mat, and I'm gonna start thinking about hiking this one up onto my shoulder and closing my elbow, okay? When you do this, anytime you have this position with your leg, if I bring my knee just straight over in line, it's not terrible, but one thing I want to show everybody, it's a small but really important detail, is I'm not doing anything to control his lower leg when I just knife my knee down like this. But if I can manage to windshield wipe my shin out the same way that I did when I went to stand up in the guard, if I do this and then I cut it over, see how I'm kicking that knee out a little bit? It makes his leg a lot less mobile, and it's much harder for him to hip escape out of this position as I continue into his guard and I start hiking this up onto my shoulder. So the difference, this is the correct position, and Nate's gonna feel me loosen up here. This is the incorrect position. Major difference, right?
Big difference.
Major difference, but a minor detail. So this is where I wanna be. I really wanna have my foot kind of windshield wiping and wedged under his shin here. I wanna be in this position. Now I can be super heavy. How the hips do, okay? Okay. Now, this pass will test your partner's flexibility, so you've got to go slow. You got to be kind of easy, all right? I just hike this leg up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on his collar, and I'm going to feed my thumb inside. And you can be as mean with the splits here as you want, okay? I'm going to really try to bring his knee to his face. Not going to do that right now, but that's ideally what I would want to do against somebody who's very mobile and very flexible, is bring that knee right to his face, okay? Actually, I want to Abraham,
Thank you.
This is where I would end up. Okay, now, look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about, okay? So I've doubled up on the collars. I'm driving that knee forward, right toward his face, okay? Now from this position, there's so many passes to my right and to my left. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do big pressure. I'm gonna reach all the way around his head. I'm gonna grab whatever fabric I can, and I'm gonna put my shoulder right in his face. As I take a big back step, my right knee cuts in, and then I secure his body by raising this leg and moving it away from me with my shoulder. From this position, the only weapon he's got left is to try to work his left knee and his left leg back inside, or maybe tangle my arm and my head and my arm up here. So as soon as I start my pass, my legs hit the floor, super heavy through my shoulder. I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna try to scoot this way, moving away from his bottom leg, and my hand will come and control it. Okay, now from this position, I grab all the pant grip, punch it down, move it away, and I square my hips. I have a sleeve. I popped everything open. It's up to me which side I want to scoop. Now, just because this leg's a little lower, I know it'll be easy to push down. So I'm gonna drop the sleeve on this side, and I'm gonna scoop it up, okay? And you can do this pass from standing, but I would really like everybody to take a knee and just practice the elbow-knee connection, the scoop and bicep curl here, and the wide open base, okay? This is called combat base, all right? Practice controlling your partner here. Now when I'm ready to pass, which should be pretty quick after my opening, I'm gonna drive my knee over. Remember, when I drive my knee over, I don't just do it in line like this. It'll work, you'll get away with it, but it would be really great if you could shift your shin out as you drive the knee over. See the difference? My knee is basically pointing right at his hip, as opposed to pointing this way. I'm in. And that helps immobilize his lower shin. As I'm doing that, I'm already pulling and hiking this up, making sure my elbows stay super tight. And I can now use this collar like a winch strap. I'm just getting tighter and tighter and tighter, trying to bring that knee close to his face while immobilizing the bottom leg. People are gonna frame, they're gonna push you, but I'm so much stronger in this position than he is, okay? Now from here, I can leave the collar, reach deep for my cross face, grab some shoulder, and I have to cut my knee in tight to the body as I hit my back step, okay? Now here's a critical moment. I really have to pressure into his chest. I'm gonna control his top leg until I can hip escape back and change to the bottom. Now from this position, I pull, I punch away, and I turn my hips. Okay, now could just execute right here from standing, right? But take that knee, control, and practice in this position, okay? But if you wanted to, you could go right from here. First thing I want to do is I just want to make sure this arm stays stuck here. So when I feel this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab his bicep, and at the same time I'm going to tuck my ear to my shoulder, and I'm going to move my entire body in that direction. I do this. The reason I do that is because I want that arm to be mine. I don't want this to move until I want it to move later on. Okay, so it really is not enough just to grab the arm, because he can take that forearm out of there anytime he wants. Just, yep, exactly. That's not good for me. Okay, so when I feel this here, grip, elbow shuts tight, everything moves toward the leg side, and I hug his arm between my ear and my shoulder. Okay, now move the arm. Super tough to move the arm now. It's not gonna go anywhere, okay? So with this arm immobilized here, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna dig my elbow tight into his neck, okay? And I'm not trying to be mean with this or anything, at least not yet. What I'm doing is I'm just maintaining a position here. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release his arm as I find my wrist, as my hand finds my face, and I set up the mousetrap. Now it looks like I'm just sort of casually hanging out here, and I kind of am. I'm waiting for this arm to come around. So what will happen is they'll keep it on that side for a while, but especially for people who've never been caught here before, they get a little curious with their hand. And as he comes around, slowly, stop right here. Don't get greedy right here. Don't reach for it, because if you reach for it and you miss it, he'll move it back there. Now he knows something's up. So you can't reach for it. So I'm gonna be here, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait until he touches the mousetrap. As soon as he touches it, slowly with your partner, it goes, you okay? Down to the mat, okay? You have to do that part slow, because at the angle you have right here, some people's shoulders are gonna go right away. You'll have to tap immediately. When you get this figure 4 grip, okay, this Americana grip or a Kimura grip or any double wrist slot grip, there are a few universals. Let's smash the wrist all the way down to the mat, tight to the mat. No thumbs, at least for this version. I'm gonna torque my grips forward. So I'm gonna watch both my knuckles roll forward. And I'm gonna watch both my wrists, he's tapping, wrist roll into a hill. So I gotta move his arm up. If your partner has inflexible shoulders, you have to shift everything up this way. And now he has more range of motion. So once again, I smash the wrist on the mat, I torque my motorcycle grips. Knuckles roll forward, wrists roll up into a hill, both of them. Once I've done this, all my power is driving his wrist down through the mat, and I'm very slowly just gonna paintbrush it down below his ear. And as I come down, I raise the elbow off the mat. The wrist never leaves the mat, and I get my tap.